Hey, David, why is Andrew Yang surging in the polls? This is a good question. First, we have to address the facts. Is Andrew Yang surging in the polls? As of this recording, Andrew Yang has recently polled 3 and 4 in a couple of polls. Like, for example, there's an Emerson poll where Andrew Yang has polled 4. There's a Quinnipiac poll where Andrew Yang has polled 3. There's a slightly older USA Today poll where Andrew Yang has polled 3, and he's averaging about 2.5%. So at one point, he was only polling 1%. In that sense, Andrew Yang clearly has some momentum. I think the better argument for talking about Yang's appeal is the accelerated donor base that Andrew Yang has picked up, while many other 1 and 2 percenters have not even gotten enough donations to qualify for the third debate that's coming up next week. Yes, I think increased social media attention also can tell us about interest in Andrew Yang, if not electoral support. Do I think Andrew Yang is rocketing up in the polls? No. I mean, he's still averaging 2.5%, and he's made the third debate stage. That's great. I've interviewed him. I like him. I'm glad to see him there. I want to hear his ideas. But there is not evidence at this point that there is going to be much more headroom, so to speak, for Andrew Yang to take advantage of, although I'm sure people hearing me talk about this will disagree. The reason I believe Andrew Yang is getting attention is he is talking to people in a relatable way. He sounds far less like a politician, but not in a way that makes him sound like he's delusional with ideas that are completely disconnected from the real world. His UBI plan, you can agree with it or disagree with it. You can find areas of it that you think are more or less feasible or more or less advantageous. But it is a very specific policy that he has outlined now thousands of times as he has been running this election. And it is resonating with people, even if they don't necessarily think that's the best way to spend government money, that he is putting out specific and actionable plans. So I think it's a combination of personality, demeanor, and the fact that he is at least attempting to stick to policy. And he has many policies out there that many people are liking. Is every single one of them completely feasible? No, that's the case with any presidential candidate. Is Andrew Yang going to get enough speaking time at the third debate such that he would even have the opportunity to really be as prominently placed as Joe Biden, Warren, or Bernie? He's not, and you can argue that's not fair. I mean, you can make the case that if there are 10 candidates in a debate, regardless of polling, each should get 10% of the time. And I wouldn't completely disagree with you, even though I understand why the networks do it the way they do it. I don't disagree with the premise that if you really want the debates to be an adjudication of all of the ideas that are out there, you really should be giving the candidates equal time, although I get why they don't. So I think that's what it is. I think what Andrew Yang has done, I know that he's talking about this is not to now go away in a month. This is to become president of the United States. I don't see how the numbers point to him doing that. In the same way that I didn't see it with Tulsi, and Tulsi has not even made the third debate, and there are still people saying she's going to be president. I think at some point we have to be a little more realistic, but I think that Andrew Yang's presidency has been good for the Democratic Party. I think it's been good for elections in general, and I'm interested in seeing how far he goes.